Guadalajara Cartel co-founder Don Neto free at age 95. Coño, man, is it worth it at 95? Huh? At 95 years old. Is it a blessing or a curse to be released at 95? Who knows, man? Ernesto Fonseca Carrillo, better known as Don Neto, one of the original architects of Mexico's modern rug trade, is now a free man. According to Reforma, as of April 5th, 2025, Fonseca Carrillo has fully served his sentence and is no longer under any legal restrictions in Mexico. At 95 years old, the former Guadalajara Cartel boss was released after serving 40 years for his role in one of the most infamous cases in narco history, the 1985 abduction and unaliving of DEA agent Enrique KIKI Camarena and his pilot Alfredo Zavala. Which is crazy and ironic that Neto's getting out now at 95 and Rafael Caro Quintero recently got expelled to the United States, will be tried for the unaliving of KIKI Camarena and, subsequently being sued by the family of KIKI Camarena, as well as the family suing the Sinaloa Cartel. As this guy's like, I'm done. I might be 95, but I don't got no more of that smut on my hands. Ain't nobody gonna take me to jail for nothing right now. I'm good. I'm done so. I think it's a curse. Ain't much he can do at that age, but just wait to clock out. That's it. You spent what you knew of your existence in your first, your early years. You got your little money, and then the rest of your life was prison. Now you're at 95. It ain't like he could go to the nearest, dive bar at 95 and go pull him a bad bitch. You're 95, Papa. You looked like you were 95 back then. Look at you. Fonseca was captured on April 7, 1985 by the Mexican military in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. In 2016, due to his age and deteriorating health, Fonseca was transferred to house arrest in a residential area of Mexico State. Don Neto is the uncle of former Juarez cartel leaders Amado Carrillo Fuentes and Vicente Carrillo Fuentes. All right, so he had already been in on house arrest. He's probably hospital bed shit. His release coincides with a pivotal moment for Mexico's criminal landscape as the Trump administration looks to take a more aggressive approach toward the cartels, including terrorist designations. Freedom for Fonseca comes just 2 months after fellow Guadalajara Cartel co-founder Rafael Caro Quintero was extradited to the United States. Vicente Carrillo Fuentes was also extradited, along with 29 other high-profile cartel figures. He was expelled. He can't get a bad bitch at 95? I think he can get a bad bitch at 95, man. 95 depends how much money he got left over. In March 2025, the family of KIKI Camarena filed a civil lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of California against Rafael Caro Quintero, Ernesto Don Neto Fonseca Carrillo, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, and the Sinaloa Cartel. The suit alleges that these individuals and the cartel are responsible for the 1985 abduction, physical manipulation, and termination of DEA agent Camarena. So Neto is in this lawsuit. All right, Neto, if you got some money, they coming for that shit. So in the last 5 years, you might just have to give your shit up again. The legal action seeks compensation for both past and future pain and suffering endured by Camarena's family due to his termination. The plaintiffs are requesting damages, including compensatory and punitive damages, with the exact amount to be determined by the court. This lawsuit was made possible by the Trump administration's designation of Mexican rug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. The designation allows U.S. citizens to pursue legal action against these groups under the Federal Anti-Tourism Act. Tourism, because there's no free speech on El Tubo. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. Notably, this will not be the first time Fonseca Carrillo has been ordered to compensate Camarena's family. In 2017, a Mexican judge mandated that he pay 20.8 million pesos, approximately 970,000 US dollars, to the families of both Camarena and his pilot Alfredo Zavala. While he may be a free man in Mexico, he remains wanted by U.S. authorities for his role in Camarena's termination, though it is unclear if extradition will be pursued. Will they expel him, huh? Will they expel him? Will they expel him and send him to the United States? Huh? Will we have a 95-year-old man end up in an 80X? Will this 95-year-old man end up in the El Salvador seaside prison? Will he be expelled from Mexico to the U.S. through Cytobomb's, dealings with Trompito? 95 years old. I don't know what kind of freedom you got left, old man. Doesn't seem like much. So I guess the Camarena family run out those 20-something million already. I just think it's every opportunity that they have to solidify and to put a dagger in the idea that these men didn't have nothing to do with taking their Kiki's life, they're going to do it. If they declare them terrorists and all of a sudden there's an open lane to be able to sue them, boom, they're going to sue them. If there's an opportunity to get them convicted here, there, over there, boom, they're going to do it. Like every single time there's a way to hit them motherfuckers in the head with a hammer, I think the family's going to do that shit. And if there's money to be had, they're going to have that shit. Everything on record. They're going to make sure everything that they can do on record, they're going to do it. It ain't about the money. It's about getting every stab in this possible. They're going to do it. They're going to make sure it's on record everywhere. Oh, we can sue them? Cool, let's get on record. They did that shit. Family going to keep taking it. That's what I think. Some families want things to be quiet, want to move on with their life. Some family wants to, make sure they bury the situation. Former Cartel del Golfo leader and cooperating witness in case against El Menchito passes away while in U.S. custody. The irony. Former leader Mario Ramirez Trevino, known as El Pelón, led the Gulf Cartel briefly in 2013 after the unaliving of David Salgado, alias Metro 4. Was captured by Mexican authorities in 2013 and later extradited to the U.S. on charges of drug trafficking and money laundering. In the U.S., Trevino spent nearly 8 years in prison awaiting the outcome of his trial. Just a coincidence. Trevino also served as a cooperating witness testifying in high-profile drug trafficking cases. He provided crucial testimony against Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, alias El Menchito, linked to CJNG. Trevino recounted meeting El Menchito in 2014 at Altiplano prison, where he asked him for help with firearms and arranging a cocaine purchase for his father. Authorities confirmed that Trevino was unalived on March 13 while he was in U.S. custody. However, the exact cause of termination has not yet been disclosed. We gotta relax with the music, though. Wilding with the music right now. U.S. prosecutors have moved to cancel his pending sentencing hearing and dismiss the charges posthumously. Mario Ramirez Trevino, former leader of the Cartel del Golfo, was confirmed terminated by the U.S. Department of Justice on March 21st. He has spent nearly 8 years in a U.S. prison awaiting the resolution of his trial, known as Pelón or X-20. Trevino took command of the cartel in 2013 following the unaliving of David Salgado, alias Metro 4. He led the group for a short time before being arrested by Mexican authorities in August 2013 after spending nearly 4 years in a Mexican prison. He was extradited to the U.S. in 2017 on charges of money laundering and drug trafficking. Mexican media outlets reported that Trevino was terminated while in custody at a federal prison, according to a document shared by Marlon Cobar, chief of the Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs Section, a division within the Justice Department tasked with enforcing laws related to the control, regulation, and prevention of the illegal use, trafficking, and abuse of narcotics and dangerous drugs. Authorities confirmed that El Pelón passed away on March 13th. However, the exact cause of termination as well as the circumstances surrounding his passing have not yet been disclosed. I wonder why. Huh?
Shit.
U.S. prosecutors have requested to cancel his pending sentencing hearing and dismiss the criminal charges he faced since being extradited to the U.S. in 2017. At the time of his extradition, Trevino and 25 others faced an indictment on 3 counts of conspiracy to manufacture and distribute at least 5 kilograms of cocaine and 1 ton of marijuana. He was also charged with 2 additional counts of attempted distribution for his alleged involvement in a 10-ton brocane shipment seized by Mexican authorities in October 2007 and another shipment of over 2 tons confiscated in Panama in November the same year. Prosecutors allege that Trevino led the Gulf Cartel with the help of Los Zetas. Both criminal groups worked together in an alliance known as La Compañía, which distributed rug shipments from Colombia to the U.S. During the almost 8 years he was behind bars in a U.S. prison, Trevino served as a cooperating witness in rug trafficking cases involving other rug lords. Just last year, he testified against Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, a.k.a. El Menchito, the son of Nemesio Segura Cervantes and Mencho, leader of the Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación. During his testimony, he recounted meeting El Mencho in 2014 while they were both incarcerated at the Altiplano prison. Trevino claimed that Oseguera Gonzalez asked for his help to acquire firearms and to arrange a brocane purchase for his father. The testimony given by Pelón was used by prosecutors as part of the evidence used against Oseguera Gonzalez, who was later found guilty of rug trafficking and firearm possession. El Menchito was sentenced to life in prison plus an additional 30 years earlier this month. Just an extra 30 years in case you thought you was going to get out this life sentence. It's just a coincidence, Shannon. I don't know what, nothing to see here, right? Nothing to see here. It's just a coincidence. It's a quinky dink, man. We don't know what happened, though. We don't know nothing. We don't know the causation. Department of Justice looks to possibly merge the DEA and ATF, memo reveals. U.S. Justice Department considers merging DEA, ATF, in major shakeup, a memo says. This comes amidst previous comments by FBI Director Kash Patel of combining a portion of the ATF into the FBI. FBI Director Kash Patel is also serving as the ATF's acting director in an unusual dual role. What, Trompito can't find enough people for the job? Hit the like button, y'all. Trompito can't figure out how to get these positions filled. He ain't find enough losers to fill positions that dude got to double up. Trump has nominated Terry Cole, a longtime law enforcement veteran, to lead the DEA, though he has not yet named the permanent head of the ATF. The potential merger of the ATF and DEA would represent one of the biggest shakeups of the Justice Department's law enforcement component since following the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. In addition to potentially merging the Drug Enforcement Administration and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, department leaders are considering eliminating field offices that handle antitrust, environmental, and civil cases. So your civil cases, out the window. Environmental cases, don't worry about those ducks. Put some Dawn on them, and you'll clean that oil right off of them. Forget the water. Don't worry about it. And the antitrust, all that shit, out the window, according to a March 25th memo. A possible merger of the ATF and DEA into a single agency would achieve efficiency in resources, case deconfliction, and regulatory efforts. The memo says Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche ordered department officials in the memo to provide feedback to the proposed restructuring by April 2nd. He said the plan for proposed cuts and mergers to various offices was previously provided to the Office of Personnel Management and the White House Office of Management and Budget. A DOJ official said the memo represents a preliminary proposal that is being circulated to solicit feedback from various department leaders. Reuters previously reported the Justice Department was considering drastically scaling back staffing in the public integrity section, because who needs public integrity, which handles the department's most politically sensitive public corruption cases. Oh man, we don't need them. Get them out of here, right? Who needs the watchdogs that are going to watch politicians and call them on their bullshit? Who needs them? Oh man, got to get them out of there. Defund them, huh? Several of its attorneys had resigned in protest after a top Justice Department official ordered them to dismiss corruption charges against New York Mayor Eric Adams. No, he's not guilty, okay? He's not guilty. Pardon him. Lock Cain Velasquez up. But pardon that guy. The memo also calls for reassigning some public corruption attorneys to work out of U.S. Attorney's offices across the nation, while maintaining a core team of supervisory attorneys to remain in the section. The two agencies often work together on cases operational task forces, and on several occasions, the DEA has led undercover operations targeting the most wanted arms traffickers, including Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. The DEA's experience allowed for undercover agents posing as buyers for Colombian and Mexican drug cartels to easier penetrate the trafficking networks across the globe. And the two agencies have had their conflicts at times, with recent indictments against Los Chaperos and with Operation Fast and Furious, not Fat and Furious, it say Fat and Furious. Fast and Furious, that saw many ATF monitored weapons being allowed to flow into Mexico to arm the cartels. The ATF's role in enforcing hammer laws has exposed it to more political pressure from conservatives than other arms of U.S. law enforcement. Hammer rights groups have long sought, or weapons rights groups have long sought, to limit its legal authority to regulate the firearms industry. The Senate has only managed to muster enough votes to confirm an ATF director in 2 instances since 2006, when the role became subject to Senate confirmation. Many of the negotiations between the new administrations in Mexico and the United States have included doing more on the U.S. side of the border to stem the so-called Iron River and target straw purchasers and weapons smugglers, with recent designations of the primary Mexican drug cartels as foreign terroristas organizations. Many of the justifications for designating the groups as terrorist organizations instead of organized crime groups cited the violence and warfare type arms being used in Mexico, an increase in explosive drones being used to target military, rival cartel smugglers, and seen in regions such as Tamaulipas, Jalisco, and Sinaloa. So there it is. They're making cuts. They're going to cut everything that protects me and you, and they're going to do everything in their power to cut corners and then use all of the resources that are left to go after your superhero friends that you wear jerseys for. Salutes. Amigo, Patel is always like on 300 milligrams on Adderall, no BS. I had a buddy with pupils like that in law school. All of your buddies in law school were probably like that, because everybody on that Addy in there. Whoever has money and power is going to have even more power without oversight. Nah, they don't need that. They're going to get that public office police out of there. Civil liberties, get the fuck out of here. Who needs environmental? Come on. Who needs that shit?